Somewhere in Arizona, not far from the Mexican border, I came across many years ago an old, weather-beaten signpost. There was not a house to be seen in the area, no smoke from a distant chimney, not even the sound of a stray dog. The sign was pointing towards the far-off Purple Mountains in a direction where there was not a single trace of a road or a trail. On the sign, roughly carved with a knife, was one lone, familiar word: Olsen. Olsen's the name. I was here. Now you know. As for the rest, my friend, well, you'll just have to use your imagination. Now, think, if you like, that I came here many, many years ago along with an amigo from Nogales. Lips parched, feet blistered, dog-tired both, no longer counting days or distance. We split up here. He walked straight on south towards the border, back to his woman, house, and kids, back to his dogs barking their welcome, and all his 10 chickens scattering loudly before his feet. Back to the kitchen curtains, the smell of Chilean beans and sun-bleached aprons. Back to it all he went, the food, the wine, the quiet, the sleep, and everything else he had talked about all the weary miles from Kansas. There was much laughter in him, and he was good company. True enough, he talked a bit too much. Small wonder then it got so weirdly quiet all of a sudden when he was gone. And all the red dust dancing at his heels had settled back into his footprints. Me, I took a rest over there at that big saguaro, grabbed hold of my knife out of old habit and cut myself a chaw. Not much. The roll was supposed to last, you know, but enough. It's good to feel that sharp, sweet sting against your tongue. Caught a glimpse of a broken piece of plank there by the roadside, bent over and picked it up and started whittling away at it out of old habit. When I was done, my name was there, glaring at me from the wood. Olsen? You ask me why? Well, I don't rightly know myself. I was just sitting there thinking maybe of my buddy from Nogales, a home-loving and kindly soul like most folks down in Mexico. And then he was a man who knew for sure, no matter where he was, no matter where he walked or talked or fought or drank or laughed or slept, somewhere in this world there was a house, listening for the sound of his footsteps in the dull red dust. A house and a door with a sign saying loud and clear, Pedro Gonzalez lives here. Must feel good, huh? To have a door. Must feel damn good to have a sign that says, Olsen lives here. Here and nowhere else on earth. Here lives Olsen. Olsen himself, and no one else. This, I guess, or something like it, must have buzzed around in my head as I sat there carving that old plank. I got up and peered at the mountains in the distance. The sky was vibrant, huge, and burning blue, like now. That's when the bell began to ring. The bell? Why, sure, The one in here, you know, the little bell inside us all. The one we all keep waiting for to ring and say, stand by, make clear the anchor. The long, long search will soon be over. I watched the mountains, and I knew, just knew, that somehow, somewhere, there beyond the haze, Olsen would be sure to find soil and water, grass and trees and song and silence. And so I grabbed the sign, aimed it squarely at that peak there over yonder, and left it standing there. And then I walked away. Puzzles you, does it? No reason really why it should. The sign ain't much, a beat-up plank, no more, a useless fruit of idle labor in an idle hour. But if you like, you're free to think it stands here still, pointing towards nothing, so that people like yourself might just slow down and pause a while and think and maybe smile a little and say, well, what do you know? Has Olsen really been here too? There he sat. There he stood. And there he went, I see. And may God bless Olsen, wherever he may be.